India has hundreds of languages, thousands of dialects, dozens of scripts, and diverse cultural traditions that have evolved over thousands of years. When a powerful nation-state is formed, there is always a risk that dominant cultures will overwhelm minority ones. Articles 29 and 30 are the Constitution's protection against this. Article 29, Clause 1 says, "Any section of citizens residing in India or any part thereof having a distinct language, script, or culture of its own shall have the right to conserve the same." Students very often assume this is a minority-only right. It is not. The provision says any section of citizens with a distinct culture. A section of the majority community with a distinct regional culture also has this right. The right to conserve your distinct culture belongs to any group with one. Article 29, Clause 2 says, "No citizen shall be denied admission into any educational institution maintained by the state or receiving aid out of state funds on grounds only of religion, race, caste, language, or any of them." This is broader. It applies to all citizens seeking admission to state-funded or state-aided institutions. No one can be turned away from a government-funded school or college because of their religion, caste, or language. Article 30 is where minority rights specifically come in. Article 30, Clause 1 says, "All minorities, whether based on religion or language, shall have the right to establish and administer educational institutions of their choice." Two types of minorities get this protection. Religious minorities, like Christians who are a minority in most Indian states, and linguistic minorities, like Tamil speakers in Maharashtra. Both have the right to set up and run their own schools and colleges. Article 30, Clause 2 says the state shall not discriminate against a minority institution while granting aid to educational institutions on the ground that it is under minority management. There are several critical points about Article 30. First, minority status is determined state by state, not nationally. Whether a community is a minority in a particular state depends on their percentage in that state's population. So in Jammu and Kashmir before the abrogation of Article 370, Hindus were a minority and had Article 30 protection there. Second, the TMA Pi Foundation case, decided by an 11-judge bench in 2002, is the leading case on minority institutions. It clarified the definition of minority, settled that minority status is state-specific, and established the framework for when state regulation of minority institutions is permissible. Third, private unaided minority educational institutions are exempt from the 25% reservation requirement under the Right to Education Act. This was settled in the Promity Trust case of 2014. Forcing minority institutions to reserve seats would undermine their Article 30 right. Fourth, Article 30 does not give minority institutions complete immunity from all state regulation. They must still comply with general laws, educational standards, anti-discrimination requirements, and transparency norms. The state can regulate to ensure educational quality. It cannot take over management or impose conditions that destroy the minority character of the institution. Now your MCQ. Consider the following statements about Article 29, Clause 1. Statement 1. It is available only to religious and linguistic minorities. Statement 2. It protects the right of any section of citizens with a distinct language, script, or culture to conserve that culture. Which is correct? Option 1. Only Statement 1 is correct. Option 2. Only Statement 2 is correct. Option 3. Both statements are correct. Option 4. Neither statement is correct. Think carefully. The correct answer is Option 2. Only Statement 2 is correct. Article 29, Clause 1 protects the right of any section of citizens with a distinct language, script, or culture. It is not limited to minorities. Any section with a distinct cultural identity, whether minority or majority in terms of numbers, has this right. Statement 1 incorrectly restricts this provision to minorities only. Article 30 is the minority-specific provision. Article 29, Clause 1 is broader.